the District Cup final. Kelburne 2s up against Grange 2s. Repeat of the final from 2018. Kelburne victorious in this competition in the past, and they were victorious 5-2 winners back a year ago now. Grange 2 won it previously, so these two kind of flipped and flopped in recent years with the title in this competition. Kelburne thought had been playing particularly well in league competition this season. Alongside myself, Carl Patterson and commentary, Stephen Percy, Uddingston player, has been watching on so far today and now watching on for this game. And Stephen, what do we expect from these two sides? As I say, Kelburne have been playing pretty well, but both these sides have won this trophy over recent years.
Yeah, it'll be a tight match. I'm sure it will be very competitive. These two teams will know each other very well from league action. There's plenty of players from either side here who have got National 1 experience, particularly Kelburne with some older heads as well, so it will be tight, but I think I'm going to go for Grange here with the younger players and maybe scoring that odd goal to make it a Grange win, but it will be very, very competitive.
Kelburne get us going in their yellow colours. If there's a key player or two from either side, Stephen, who would you be picking out?
Starting with Kelburne, we've obviously got some older heads there, guys who have played the game for a very long time. So Ross McPherson, veteran of the side, played in numerous Kelburne teams over the years, and we've also then got Michael Nichol and Chris Caldwell, guys who've been in the Kelburne first team plenty of times before. So they're the kind of guys to look at, I would say, from the Kelburne side. From Grange, we've obviously got Alex Riddle. He's the younger brother of Scotland internationalist Duncan Riddle, so he will certainly be looking to emulate his brother here in this game and lead through the midfield and try and drive Grange forward for the win.
Well, Kelburne got through just against Grove 2s. It was a game which was level, but they won in shootout 3-2. Grange 2-1 winners over Watsonians 2s. Up there looking towards Andrew Bremner, but we'll return with Grange. As we mentioned in the first game, Grange looking for perhaps a treble on the day with wins. We knew one of them were going to win the first game on pitch one with the Reserve Cup final, but the twos in action here, and then the first team later on in the Scottish Cup final.
Grange as a hockey club have had some fantastic results over the years, particularly within the cup finals. They'll be looking to carry that forward. Both teams just a wee bit unsettled, you know, they've not really had a good bit of possession here. Both also setting up fairly similarly with a kind of 4-3-3 formation. So the key here is just to try and keep the ball and settle into the game. Kelburne now looking to try and build with some possession.
And there is Conor Bain, part of that two at the back. Fraser Scott, little dart by Templeton.
That was an encouraging start for Kelburne. They obviously have to pick their moments with Grange sitting a little bit deeper, but they did that well there, just unfortunate not to make the passes count.
And Carmichael goes back with patient play. Pressure being put on there by the Grange captain, Cal Mothian. Taking a bit of a sore one, but quickly back to his feet. Umpire coming in for a chat. Gavin Cruikshanks is across the air alongside Duncan Ruzzick.
Looks like the players just came together there as the ball popped out. Gavin just taking a moment to see if he's okay and restarting the match with a bully, which you don't often see in hockey nowadays.
Bain. Fraser Hutchison. Brian tried to take in there.
You can see Ross McPherson just hugging this right touchline. I think Kelburne will be trying to get him on the ball as often as possible. Definitely a guy who knows the game. He's going to try and dictate the play.
Advantage was played but didn't come to anything for Grange. Michael Nichol.
Lovely pass here by Andrew Bremner to beat the pressure. Gets Kelburne right up the pitch and able to try and attack the space a wee bit here.
Very patient though at the back, taking their time with their moves. Forward from Bain. Came off a Grange stick of grab. Clure trying to thread through. Back it will go.
Kelburne will be encouraged that they're getting, you know, the first kind of entry into the Dean, first shot. I think they might have done a wee bit better if they just kept driving with that ball. They seem to have the defender under some pressure, but you know, they've still got it. Got a long corner here and they can keep the pressure on Grange.
Just another mini stoppage here. Alan Tom this time taking a bit of a knock, but you know, ball or stick may have chapped his hand, but Kelburne continue. Perhaps maybe a break here though for Grange. Good combination between Lothian and Walker. High it goes, quickly looking for Walker. In the way though was Fraser Hutchison.
Can see Alex Riddle there really keen to get the ball moving. He started that first attack and tried to play the aerial ball through the second, but I think might have been a better choice just to try and get Grange out from under the pump a wee bit and get some structure. But they've got the ball back, they can go again. This will be key here. How long can Grange stay in the ball? How long can he keep it and try and frustrate Kelburne? Try and get some structure, buy some time and just build themselves up the pitch, but you know, they've given the ball away there. It's Kelburne's turn again to go.
A little bit of pressure. There was Fraser Scott. In comes McPherson. Gives it away though with ease. Grabbed forward there is Collister. Through the middle here, what a pass. Standing straight. And just kicked away there by Logan McClure. First little moment Grange have had in an attack. Prominence.
It's positive they're getting in the D, just like Kelburne. They're asking questions, and what's more positive is they managed to get into the D within 5-10 seconds. Kelburne losing the ball in that right back area. So there's definitely going to be chances here in the game. It's just who can make the opportunities count. I think the key here is that they have to use Ross McPherson in the right areas, taking sideline free hits in those positions. I'd be saying get yourself up the pitch. You know, you influence the game where it matters. We've got plenty of people back here who can do that. Grange quite happy just sitting at this height. You don't really see a press coming on from them, albeit they are increasing the height at which they're playing. You don't see a lot of hard pressure.
Scott. Will be Kelburne ball. Back to getting plenty of possession in his opening 8 or 9 minutes. That's fall kindly here, Carmichael. Pressure put on by Alex Riddle on McPherson. Good juggling. That's a super ball through. Can they get the control? It's nice play there by Rintoul, but it is cleared away in the end. Lovely play from Grange.
Yeah, that's what Alex Riddle's capable of. You know, he adds that energy. You know, he's hounding Ross McPherson there, wins the ball, plays a ball into D. So they'll need more of the same. Chances like that can lead to goals, and Grange nearly got in early doors.
I remember Jimmy Rintoul being a lively figure last year for Grange. Look at the run here from O'Brien, going all the way almost, still with O'Brien. It's going to come, but wide it comes. And the ball disappears away for Lodi and the captain, but a couple of promising spells here for the side in Navy.
I think that's a bit more like it from Grange. They're starting to show their qualities, particularly O'Brien driving that left baseline.
Hammer across, and there's the chance in the centre of the D. Can they get round? Rintoul again, penalty corner signalled, and really been a positive couple of minutes here.
Kelburne just need to steady themselves a wee bit. They've given away a few opportunities. Logan McClure doing well with a couple of saves, but they just need to steady the ship here. Hopefully the time for the shot corner just allows them to take stock and keep this shooting and build.
So then, first penalty corner of the game, 10 minutes played. And diverted away to safety from Stanistreet's effort.
So that super corner defence from Conor Bain, runs really aggressively to the top of the D and managed to get the block in. So his goalkeeper Logan McClure will be very, very happy with that sort of defending.
Ben Doherty with that impressive bandana, or headband, whatever you want to call it. Rintoul now on the far side. He was against Stuart Robin.
Never has been able to tackle that.
So Grange are choosing to sit a wee bit higher now. They're taking a wee bit more confidence. I think they can sense there's an opportunity coming. So they're putting their players a wee bit higher, albeit it's really only the forward line.
So a nice ball up there towards Andrew Duff, but couldn't quite control. Stanistreet in the channel there, but not reaching Walker or Rintoul.
Yeah, better from Grange, stringing passes together, waiting for opportunities. There was actually a decent connection with the forward line there, but the delivery and then the timing of the lead just never matched up properly. If it did, they had good potential on the outside.
Incidentally, another game happening at the moment in pitch 2. Bring your full-time score of that later on, hopefully. Glasgow University 2s up against Hillhead 2s in the district plate final behind us on pitch 2. Lucas Grubb and then wriggle it through the yellow bodies. Here's Rintoul again. Quick to Folds now, Tom Folds. Tom. Good control there in turn. Templeton fires it across. Rintoul was waiting, but the arm goes out, and well, another chance coming in for Grange.
So that's a super ball there. An initial ball from the left side here into the D. That's a nightmare for a defender. Lots of speed, bobbling. It's very difficult to control, but it was actually the Grange forward who got his stick to the ball first and made a super trap, which meant that he could then have a shot at target, albeit dangerous and off target. So I think Kelburne need to be careful here when Grange are sitting so deep. they just have to try and bring the ball up onto the line of where the team is, rather than trying to hit through Grange's players or through Grange's lines when they're too deep.
Green card being shown there for Grange and for Alex Riddle. Not too happy, I think, for dissent. Bunkern was it there very quickly. There wasn't taking any back chat.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what he'd done with it. It was the ball. He's hit the ball away. He's spoken it, but he's got a 2-minute warning for that. And I'm sure Grange will miss him. He's definitely been the key to their more successful attacks.
Martin Shepperton now back on team manager duty now for the Grange seconds team. It's a busy day. 2 teams involved for Grange in the first game. Seconds here.
Oh, there's definite bragging rights there for Grange. You know, they've had a number of teams involved today. It's fantastic for them. So I'm sure they'll be out in force for the main cup final at 4 as well.
Yeah. Here's Tom. No one getting the end of that. Yeah, just saying before, I said it before, that the first team are looking for a treble. The club are looking for a treble today. They could be in for a double treble in different ways.
They're going through a really strong period at the moment. All teams performing well. First team have been at that level for a number of years. The twos have been, you know, dominating that league and have that theme of being in cup finals as well. So yeah, it's a really positive time for the men's side.
Great lofted ball, over it goes by Nicol. First real chance Kelburne have had. It's taken them 15 minutes, but not far away.
Yep, super. That's probably the best chance, I would say. Best chance. It's unlucky not to keep it in the deck. He does really well to control it, especially when the defender missed the first opportunity to take it down. I'd like to see Kelburne maybe press a wee bit more and try and get a bit more pressure on that ball. They've got an extra man. You know, they just have to figure out how to use it. Grange at the moment, I think, are being quite clever, that they're just happy to keep the ball, buying time. They understand they're not under a lot of pressure, and they're just choosing their moments here.
Good challenge in there on Tom, back up to 11 apiece on the field.
Yeah, I think that was maybe potentially a wasted opportunity for Kelburne. They did get a decent opportunity to shoot. You know, Michael Nicol there having a chance at goal, but for the 2 minutes they could really put Grange under the pump, I think, if they tried to press a lot more aggressively.
McPherson nonchalantly past Lothian.
Aye, quick hands, not bad for a 40-year-old.
He'll try it again. Did well. Harrison Little slip on there by Caldwell. Packet will come all the way back. Well, it looks things Hudson Hunting. Fine Robin.
So that's a super moment for Grange to press it. Initially they did 3v3.
Oh, it's given away, not quite going to get in there. It was a bribe, but he was alert.
I'm not surprised that resulted in a kind of sniff at goal for Grange. It was 3v3 there in the quarter. And again, if they just recognise these situations and are a wee bit more aggressive, then they can have these opportunities.
Keeping that in on the line there, Chris Caldwell, and then run into trouble. Riddle did make it wide in the end. Here he is again, Riddle. good old-fashioned kick away, which has led to perhaps a counter with Caldwell.
Yeah, that's a good kick from Logan. He's done well, dealt with the danger, but he's also allowed his team to get possession and have a go at the opposition.
It was a 5-2 win for Kelburne last year. Grange won this back in 2017. 4-1 winners over Watsonian seconds, and here they are now with Walker darting in, went past everyone. Kelburne winning this in 2016 as well. This kind of following the theme of 3-0 win over Grove, so with it being an odd numbered year, perhaps that should mean that Grange should win this, but to keep the pattern up anyway.
If you're into superstition, then might be a good omen for those guys.
Might as well put another theoretical out, but there we are.
No, they've definitely had a strong relationship with the cup.
Looking around there, Robin found Carmichael.
That's really strong defensive work from Robin. Just side marking, back marking his man, makes the defender think the ball's there to be played to one of his teammates, and he just steps in as the ball goes in transit, takes it, wins it back for Kelburne, and they keep possession, so that's really good. See, that's actually really good from Fraser Hutchison. Initially he was thinking about passing from really far back, but he stepped forward to make it more difficult.
Folds can pick out O'Brien. Looking for that big magic moment in this game so far. Both spells had moments of dominance. Has been taken back here by Walker. Stannistreet. Grubb saw Colster with time. Looking for Lothian, but good tackle came in. Time and space for McPherson. Quite quickly closed down though by Walker.
It's a good decision. You know, he had 3 players ahead of him, but there was no real strong options, and I felt that if they lost the ball there, it might signal the start of just being under pressure for a long period of time. So they managed to build, and Cardiff lost the ball again, but they made the right decision, I feel, in the first instance. I really feel the key to Kelburne here in terms of getting the ball in Grange's half is where they choose to initiate their attack. So we've seen Fraser Hutchison, he walked forward onto the line of where Grange's defence are set up, and he played a nice pass. Okay, he lost the ball, but contrast to that, we've seen Conor Bain trying to pass the ball from really deep, and they lose the ball within their own half. So if they can really get the ball within about 5 or 10 metres of Grange's forward line to try and play these passes, I think they're going to have a lot of joy. But it's whether they can get the right players on the ball to do that.
Doherty back with Grubb.
I think he was just running out of options there. You know, I think he's seen everybody else was marked. He was free, and he thought, I need to do something with the ball, but you know, he probably should have looked for a 2v1 or just been happy having the ball under control in the 25 and waiting for options to appear.
And Kelburne had that tight semi-final, but managed to beat the Wildcats 3-0 in the quarters. By earlier on in the second round, beat Ellen fairly comfortably. Grange have scored plenty of goals in their run to the final, scored 15 against Perthshire, 5 against Aberdeen Grammar, 5 against the Rotten Row Blue Sox. And then that tight one in the semi-final. That's a nice chance here, perhaps. Rintoul through the middle. Swanton keeper comes out really well there, and McClure has had 2 or 3 decent moments in this first half.
That's solid goalkeeping again. I actually thought he maybe hesitated for a second, but he timed it perfectly and dealt with the trouble. But it's good to see him off his line and trying to be involved.
I've seen Tel Allers in the first game this morning do it a bit wrong and concede the penalty stroke at the end of that first final, the Reserve Cup final. In the end he did save it, but that was timed right.
Well, it's positive that he's redeemed himself, but those situations are a nightmare for a goalkeeper. You know, the speed that the players can move it, particularly, you know, the skills that players have. They could move the ball, you know, an inch is enough, and before you know it, you're clattering a guy and you're getting away penalties. So it's probably better to be aggressive in a situation and be confident to try and take the ball, but it could go very, very wrong for you if you're not careful. Just to touch on a previous point, saying Kelburne, you know, very capable of scoring goals, and that's definitely a theme that runs through the club. You know, there's plenty of players in this Kelburne team who'll be training on a weekly basis with guys who've been some of the most deadly finishers in the country for years. Guys like Johnny Christie, guys like Lee Morton, guys like Jack McKenzie. You know, these guys are really, really top strikers, and if these guys can try and emulate a wee bit within their semi-final form and do that today, then they're going to get chances, and hopefully they can take them because they've got it in the locker.
Down the channel from Folds. Rintoul quickly got on with the free hit. Stuart Robin down there defensively. Weaving away there, Riddle.
It's a good wee battle those two are having, Rintoul and Robin. Good defending ultimately by Robin there, but it's nice to see Rintoul trying to press ahead quickly, trying to really get to the D, catch Kelburne sleeping.
I love the ball wide there by Tom. Lucas Grubb trying to perhaps get into that side instead, finds Riddle. Alex Riddle, it's too high, thought, just got himself into the circle but couldn't keep it down.
He'll be disappointed. He's capable of better than that, and he'll definitely want to at least work Logan a wee bit better on the goal. Kelburne will also be disappointed that he's kind of walked into the top of the circle there with it. Any real pressure. Just see Kelburne changing it around a wee bit. You know, they've got different players, different personnel now playing different positions. We've got the captain, Mark Connor, on it right back. Connor Bain obviously resting, but it's allowed Fraser Hutchison the chance to get into midfield and try and influence the play a wee bit more from in there. He's definitely capable, Fraser. He's played the game for a long time, and again, he's one of these players who can try and drive Kelburne forward and really get them a foothold in the game.
Lost out now. Perhaps again another ball looking for Rintoul through the middle. Got the free hit. 7 to play in this first half. Will be in wide. Tom looked up.
Yeah, do you know, that's actually quite a good ball. Probably seeing Grange at the moment, too many people just trying to be inside the D, which is the right place to be. That's where you score goals, but sometimes you have to go somewhere else before you get to the D. You have to create some width to then get back in.
Come back to a point a couple of months ago, talking about Kelburne and some of these players and the players they're training with. Has been a bit of a change of the guard though at the top level for Kelburne. Not winning everything hands down as they have done for much of the last decade or so. Grange have kind of taken top honours, but players are changing. Young players will come in. As that one will be a free hit here to Grange.
Spot on with Kelburne, they are the kind of, they have been the top club in Scotland, certainly the men's side of the game for years, decades, but there is a transition at the moment. They are changing a lot of the guys who've been there for a long time.
Biddle just coming in here for Grange. 1 or 2 shouts in there.
Yeah,
that ends that move.
Yeah, good defending. They got a shot there, but defender was good, did really well to block it. But yeah, the Kelburne definitely in a period of transition. They've still obviously got a top coach in Gordon Shepherd. He's trying to steer them back in the right direction. They've obviously had a go in the relegation playoffs, which is really unfamiliar for a lot of those guys, albeit the playoff format, one-off games, is something that they could still take from the European side that they've been involved in the past.
Nice play again here. Comes all the way almost to the centre for Lothian, who is around. And they're finding some space and some opportunity on that far side of Grange.
Yeah, Grange are definitely asking more questions than Kelburne at the moment, and I think at half time they'll be starting to think about, right, how do we really make these chances count? What are we going to do to make the difference? Because they're definitely getting the chances.
Another here for Rory McClure. Doherty concedes a free hit. Could we even run in, looking to try and get in there with MacArthur. And that's about the corner. 4 minutes to play until half time.
So that's good. Kelburne, this is exactly what they need. When they get into those areas, they have to make it count, either by getting shots on target or winning corners. So they'll be pleased with that. It's a good chance to take the lead with 4 minutes to go.
Alex Liddell heading across then to the injection point. And can we perhaps see the opener here? Chances, a few of them, certainly a few half chances for both sides.
Certainly looks like Carmichael's going to hit the ball here.
Yep, and there is the back board has been found, and there is the opening goal. And what a time to go just before half time. Kelburne in front.
If I was a Grange player at the moment, I think I'd feel like I'd just been sucker punched. Kelburne have really only been in the D a couple of times, but it just shows you, if you win stuff in the D, you get chances, then it's all possible. Yeah, it's a super hit. I think the goalkeeper might, just looking at the replay, there might have been a wee deflection in there which through the goalkeeper. If there wasn't, I don't know, I would maybe feel a bit disappointed. It was fairly down the centre.
Yes, it seemed a fairly straightforward move, and it was rewarded their first real moment from a penalty corner, and it has worked wonders for Kelburne. And Grange, Kelburne started pretty well first 5 minutes or so in there. Well, here's now a little look.
I can see number 81 there, just on the left side. I don't know if the goalkeeper's been thrown a wee bit, but it certainly comes through the middle, so I'm not sure if he's trying to hedge his bets with a secondary save after a deflection, or he's just been thrown a wee bit, because that should be a fairly simple ball to deal with. That's the thing, you ask the question, sometimes you get the rewards.
Yeah, collecting tickets and raffles and all that. Riddle, now Grange trailing after probably having the better of the moments after those early stages. Riddle wriggled away from McClure. Kelburne players back and gets the ball back for his side.
I like the energy that Alex is trying to put out put on in that situation, but it's actually Kelburne who are under pressure. Don't give them an easy opportunity. You know, keep the pressure, but don't foul. Make it hard for them to pass. Let them make the mistakes. So Kelburne under no pressure now, no balls in Grange's half, minute to go. I think if Alex had the chance to play that situation again, he'd maybe just want to keep the ball in the corner.
Doherty looked up but went sideways. Grab. Brian trying to keep this around. Now Nickel in that corner. There's a Grange ball. Final 10 seconds. Right in the body there. Painful.
Nothing to say, but those ones hurt. Nothing you can do about it. Sometimes you're just going to have to get hit, but you know, Chris there will be really happy that he's took that for the team, but albeit outside the D. You know, an extra foot, and that's a short corner.
4 seconds left. It'll be pretty tough to get 5 metres and in. And there is the hooter. So it's been a tighter old game, this one, compared to our first one in pitch 1. There has been some chances, perhaps Grange with the better of them, but a penalty corner conceded just over 3 minutes left in this first period was the undoing of them. Carmichael scoring from the penalty corner that resulted 1-0 Kelburne lead. Your kind of overall thoughts?
It's been there's not been a lot of clear-cut chances, albeit Grange have had the better or the lion's share of what has happened. If I was Grange, I would say, you know, don't panic. Still a half of hockey. There's a lot of things that can happen. It's only one goal. For Kelburne, they'll be over the moon. You know, they've kind of weathered the storm as such, and I think they've got the experience in the lines now that they know how to deal with that situation, and it's just about trying to consolidate. I think we'll see a lot more of what we just seen in the last minute there, about just trying to get numbers around and in front of the ball, and it's just probably about how long they can do that for.
So we'll have a quick look at the goal that was the opening goal, I should say, in this first half. The penalty corner coming just over 3 minutes before that break from Carmichael. Here it is. It's a pretty straightforward routine, which still surprised how it got through.
Yeah, you can see before the ball's even pulled out, Carmichael's already got a grip that says he's going to hit the ball. So there's a couple of things that you would look at from a technical point of view. The first one is, if he's going to hit the ball, do you really want to put a runner to the top of the D? The second one is, if the goalkeeper spotted that, he should be prepared to do something called a log, which means he just goes to the ground. In hockey, we know that if you hit the ball during a short corner routine, it must hit the backboard. So we know he can't hit it high. If he's on the ground there in a kind of log, lying down position, he's got a much better chance of trying to save the ball, touch the ball. It's like a physical barrier. But like I say, from a Kelburne point of view, you ask the question, you get it on target, and then these types of situations are where you can take the lead. As we know, short corners are a major scoring opportunity. A lot of teams, not just at district level but around the world, use this as a place where they're going to get most of their goals.
Okay, so we'll take a pause for now. The reserve plate, winners the Western Wildcats and Kelburne Force runners up, we're going to have their medals, but we'll take a pause here. Kelburne are 1-0 winners at half time.
Okay, and now the winners of the Grange Reserve Plate Final, Western Wildcats Trees. And now receiving the plate itself. Let's give our ratio of the Western Wildcats Trees, winners of the Grange Reserve Plate Final. And for the runners-up, the Kelburne Force. Don't get yourself a selfie or take this before you leave. Get yourself a phone. Very difficult to get a selfie with them. Don't let them leave too common.
Thanks guys, appreciate it. Got your saucer for your mantelpiece, saucer for the mantelpiece again.
Whereas there was half time by Lawrence and time for Hobbit to come. Do the Hobbit Cafe still open? Goes up some hot cold drinks and snacks there as well.
Come on boys, come on boys! Come on! Come on, boys! Come on, Kelburne! Jackson! Get some more!
start. Hockey fans, you've been fantastic throughout this game, but you keep the noise going. Remember what's going on in BBC? There's the people who know what they're missing. So make some noise for your hockey fans.
Welcome back then. Second half to come between Kelburne and Grange 2s. This is the District Cup final, and we are back underway. Grange in their navy colours, with a slight better of it in that first period, but 1-0 down to Kelburne through penalty corner. Carmichael finishing. So it's a side in yellow and black with the advantage. What do you think, or what do you imagine has been said at half time, Stephen?
Had a quick look at both sides and during the kind of half-time chat. It was quite well measured. No, nothing too emotional or too animated. So I think they'll just be trying to slowly but surely build themselves in. Albeit Grange were showing a wee bit of, they had a huddle there at the start of the second half, which is maybe a wee bit more unusual. I think they're maybe just trying to G themselves up a wee bit more.
Bit of a chase going on there, but it was covered by Grubb. Oh, he was under a bit of a swarm, and ball's been given to Kelburne. Hutchison. Switch across from Scott, who is sitting back there. And Hutchison on this near side.
Yeah, Grange obviously not desperate at the moment, and nor should they be. They're quite happy still sitting at their kind of 60 yard height, just making it difficult for Kelburne to play forward. They're definitely not going to hurt them from back there.
Chris Caldwell not too happy with that sliding out.
Yeah, they have to be careful when Grange do eventually go and put pressure on that back four. The midfielders have to follow up as well, because that's the risk, that your forward line goes and create big gaps, and then the Kelburne midfield can quite easily pick the ball up.
Bremner eventually lost out, but comes back with sign yellow. Scooped up by Tom. Keeps it on that line. Just behind Rintoul. Rintoul trying to sneak in there again.
That's unlucky. They had two men pressuring the ball there, and I thought they might just get away with stealing it. Kelburne need to be careful. If they're going to have the ball in those situations, you don't want to get yourself under too much pressure.
Just comes Caldwell, rolling on his backside, but very quickly Grange return with possession. Stannistreet, Rintoul. Good duel with Scott. Marcus O'Brien not happy with the umpire.
I think he feels that one of the Kelburne boys had lifted their stick a wee bit too high and made a dangerous situation, but
taken by O'Brien here. Keeper comes out. O'Brien goes all the way around. It's penalty stroke.
I think he's, I was going to say fortunate, but he's really ballooned that shot, so maybe a wee bit of saving grace. He's won the penalty instead. Just thinking, it's a bit harsh.
McClure had one or two good saves in that first period, but Now penalised.
Certainly looked like Logan McClure in the goal didn't make too much contact with the player, albeit I think our umpire maybe spotted something from the angle he had that we can't see.
Marcus O'Brien then to level things up, and he does. Big goal for Grange early in the second half from the spot, one apiece.
It's a smashing penalty, smashing. Down to that low left side, or the keeper's left side. So difficult, you know, the stick is in the keeper's right hand, so he doesn't really have anything of length that can get down there. And if the ball's played with enough speed, oh, it's very hard to get that ball. Yeah, it's a super penalty.
You did mention Grange shouldn't really need to panic, plenty of time, and they got their moment and they've taken it.
Yeah, you can see that they were a wee bit more G'd up, had a bit more energy around them. I think the key difference now is you're back in the game. Can you keep that going? You know, don't rest, try and get ahead, but also don't be too erratic and allow Kelburne opportunities.
Doherty down the channel there, Walker harrying. Caldwell on the twist. In there towards Duff. Looking to get Caldwell back. Wakeham Grange. Clear only as far as Bain. Of the pirouette. Now Kelburne supporters to our left celebrating, but not quite the pass that Bain was trying to intend, a right smile.
I think he just got a wee bit ahead of himself. He was thinking about that dream ball he could play for somebody to tip it in, but he's done well initially. He just, when he's in that space, he just has to calm down, slow down and think about his best option. Yeah, that's a good stop there, good trap for Fraser Hutchison on the run. That's not an easy ball to take with pressure at your back. Oh, it's a bit risky.
Down there is Caldwell being lively in these early stages of the second half. Doherty got the touch back to take it to the 23.
That's a good lead from Andrew Duff. You know, he's not been involved so much in the first half, but very energetic, happy to run the channels there. And Ross McPherson more than happy to give him the ball.
Riddle comes through bodies. Here's standing straight. Okay, off his foot.
Yeah, they've done all right. Okay, there it did look a wee bit scrappy in the build-up as the ball came into the D initially, but you know they've done all right. It was a wee bit of danger with the forward still being in the ball, but you know, good defensive work.
Folds. Sunny Street sweeps away. Hutchison for company. Back to the long corner zone.
Stanistrate definitely likes to utilise this left-hand side. That's a number of times now. He's quite happy to take the ball and run and showing good skills to eliminate defenders.
Doherty wriggling it in. Way by Bain. Further clear by Brebner. Reminder that the plate final next on this pitch. Highland up against Dunfermline Carnegie, and in the Scottish Cup final, Grange against Grove. Familiar, those two meeting each other. Familiar with hearing the name Grange today. That's a nice little bit of play there. Stanley Street picking up from Riddle.
Yeah, I think
Green card coming out.
Yeah, Conor Bainey had 2 nibbles there. The first one obviously drew the attention of the umpire and played it on, but he goes in for another bite here as Riddle tries to play the ball on his reverse stick, so no surprise, that's worthy of a card, so he'll take a seat for that. So
Bain on the sidelines. Kelburne down to 10 for the next couple of minutes. Alan Tom with the injection. Lothian in the middle there, just alongside Stannistreet.
Yeah, definitely looks like Stannistreet's going to have a go here, setting up for a drag flick, so we'll see what sort of quality he can have.
And there's a line break, so that's one defender gone. One, in fact, sorry, no, it's a decision against the attacker. Little dummy perhaps from the attacker, and up the other end, Duff comes in. Kelburne looking at the profit as Grange get back perfectly at the other end, and well, that's a chaotic 30 seconds or so.
Well, we've got a wee bit after here. Grange player definitely not happy with Duff, but I'm not sure why that might be, but he's definitely not happy about something.
Green card for Duff, green card there for O'Brien for Grange. So with 9 against 10, this is the break up the other end.
Oh well, somebody's lit the fuse. Still starting out.
I'm guessing at the other end, would it be that the injector just dummied, just a slight delay in the injection?
That's right, so it could be probably one of two things. Either he's touched the ball twice, so the ball's came off his stick and he's touched it again, or he's had kind of 2 movements to the ball, so he's tried to dummy the defence and get them to run early. Obviously that fouls then sparked the counter for Kelburne here, and they get a chance at a corner.
So up the other end, Hutchison taken by Scott. Wide it goes to the Nixel, back to the long corner.
Seen a wee variation there. You see that at top level hockey where the injector just changes their position at the last moment to try and throw the corner defence, but the injection never quite hit its mark and Kelburne get the long corner. I'm just thinking back to Andrew Duff getting a green card there. I was having a wee look. I'd be a wee bit unhappy if I was him. I don't think he did too much wrong. Certainly it seemed to be more so the Grange player who was upset and initiating the contact in the D.
Well, there is a bit extra space around because Kelburne have 9, Grange with 10. Bean will be back on probably the next 30-40 seconds.
And in moments in the game like this, when you've just had a flurry of activity, you just kind of have to, particularly if you're Kelburne, you just have to settle a wee bit. You've got 2 less players, there's a lot going on. Just don't cause any sort of animosity in the next minute or 2. Oh, nice skills. Yeah, he's done well there. Nice squeeze into the turf, so you see the ball pop up and then he drags it away for the second defender and keeps the ball for his team.
Tom, so back to 10 against 10. Bit of defending to do for Robin.
So 10 apiece. Conor Bain's back on the pitch here, putting pressure on the ball.
Bit of a stumble there from Folds. Pressure being put on by Duff as we're now back up to 11 apiece.
Folds has done well there under hard pressure, but I think he chose quite a high risk elimination as Duff was chasing him down. Manages to find some space to get a play on the D, and Logan McClure makes a save. So pressure continues for Grange.
Tom. It's a ball that will whistle by everyone.
That's a lovely ball. You know, usually these 45-degree balls into the back post is where strikers really want it to be. You know, that's where the chances to score goals and get your easy goals, your tip-ins, tap-ins. That's where these start, but just couldn't make the connection there. Oh.
A stumble over there for Riddle.
Nice
That's
pass.
a nice little flick from O'Brien. I'm sure it was intentional. Stuck down that side, didn't quite pay off, but it was a nice idea.
Yeah, it was a lovely move. I think he was a wee bit unhappy about the flag being there. Maybe not used to playing with the flags in, but maybe seeing it put him off a wee bit.
Advantage there for Kelburne.
Like the follow through's hit Alex Riddle in the knee there. He's feeling the afters.
Crowd has steadily been coming in this morning into the afternoon. Kelburne to the left, plenty of them around. Some of the fourth team who lost out in the reserve plate final to the Western Wildcat Threes are supporting their teammates.
Can be a great day out for clubs, you know, particularly if you've got a couple of teams involved like Kelburne and Grange do, that, you know, you'd really have a big drive to get the members in, and it's a kind of nice moment at the end of the season for all the hard effort and hard work that people have put in, not just the players.
And also as well, I think there's a positive change this having the Scottish Cup as the final event, because like previous years it's been the grand finals after and played over 2 weekends, whereas this now is the showcase end of season semi-finals and finals over the last couple of weekends is great to see as well.
Absolutely, I think particularly because
Ball flies across here, flies Stanley Street, and it's parried away. There was danger from Steve Swanton right in the centre.
I would say that particularly from a club's point of view, the number one priority is going to be trying to achieve your goal in the league. Now, whether that's European success or stay in the league or avoid relegation, whatever that is, that's the priority. So the fact that you can play those European playoffs, relegation playoffs first and have a bit of momentum and continuity.
Doherty here in for Stanley Street, saved by the Fate. Rinchell was there once more, but McClure there to make himself big.
Yeah, they've done well. Good saves for McClure again, and then Kelburne handle the pressure. But yeah, the cup final's got a feel to it that it's important and people want to win, and you know there's silverware there to be had. Like I say, I think the league stuff is a much bigger priority for people, and to have the flow and momentum to take that in, it means you get a couple of weeks to just take stock, enjoy yourself. And if you're involved in the cup final, then go and play that and enjoy it and see what you can do.
Yeah, see, like a side like Dunfermline Carnegie, who are in next to the plate, you know, they were trying to get out of National League 2, didn't quite do it, and but they had that first. They've had the opportunity, and now they're in a cup final, can enjoy that. But here's a chance here with Kelburne. Brebner with the ball received, perhaps took a touch or two too long. There was some support there as away comes Lothian.
Yeah, shame. That was a good opportunity for them. Yeah, Carnegie. So exactly, if you said to them, look, you've got a plate final or a Scottish Cup final that you can play in, and then you've got a relegation promotion match, which one do you want to play first? They would almost always choose, oh, what a take. They would almost always choose to play the league match first. So they've got that out of the way, and then they can have a crack at the plate. And I know from experience how hard it is to get out of that Division 2. It's not easy. you know, and they've had a great season, Dunfermline Carnegie. They've had a crack, you know, they've had a go at it, and they've got a final to play in, which, you know, they'll be backing themselves to go and do positively in as well.
Yeah, they're the disappointment, but now they can actually try and win today, and it'll be positive rather than have a positive than perhaps a negative. So all interesting. It's been a good source of debate over the last 2 or 3 weeks, at least for you and for us, and not involved with that this year.
No, I'm more than happy. We were at the other end this time, so we'll take it. Nice to avoid the bottom end for a change.
It's another debate I think we had 2 or 3 weeks ago with the kind of cutthroat nature of promotion relegation. If you're in the National League One, how many teams are actually in that? You have to be nearly halfway to be safe.
Yeah, the margins are fine, and they've been fine for a while. You know, if you take the top couple of teams in Division 2, you put them in with the 10 in the top level. If you played, I don't know, a number of games, 5-10 games against each other just as a test, the outcome would be so different every time, most of the time, because the margins are so fine. You know, there's not a lot between success and failure. And certainly being in that situation with Uddingston, if you're Dunfermline Carnegie and you're playing in Division 2 for a number of, you know, for 18 games, and then you have to come up all or nothing match against some of the guys who've had hockey at the top level, it's hard. It's very hard.
A few sticks have been flying in, and there's going to be, I think, another card here perhaps. So certainly going to be a chat. I think it will just be the chat with Rintoul.
Even if you think about Division 1 in terms of, you know, the teams who finished, say, 9th, that's their last position for a playoff, and the teams who were trying to get that 4th spot, or even 5th and 6th, which is neutral, there's not a lot between them, points-wise. You know, they play 18 matches, and then there's...
Another green card being shown. There's certainly some players are testing the patience of these umpires, and now it's Grange's turn to be light with Hamish Walker taking 2 minutes off.
Can only imagine Gavin Cruikshanks has seen a wee bit of body contact that went over the line, so Grange just need to settle. You know, there's still plenty of time. 15 minutes of hockey is still a long time.
Yeah, you talk about leagues, and this is in the kind of regional Division 1. These two are playing. Kelburne down in 8th, Grange 2nd, but it's another league which you've seen the results. There's been a few kind of results along the way, so even at kind of twos level in a league full of kind of twos teams, there's been a lot of interesting results and teams beating each other.
It can change a lot for a couple of reasons. Again, the margins are fine. Hockey's a sport where, like any sport, I suppose, upsets can happen. People can definitely... Yeah, he's got that right in the end, I think. But certainly, hockey's a sport like anywhere. Upsets can happen and things can change. It's very hard to be dominant for a long period of time. But when you get into that second team, you know, even the guys in the first team, they're not professional. You know, so more so with the second team guys, it's a hobby, albeit they'll be passionate. But teams change week in, week out.
And certainly, Kelburne are showing a bit more life as the game ticks on the second period. MacArthur was down there.
Just looking at some of these Grange boys and their body language, they are working very hard, but I just wonder if they're able to catch a breath and go again, because they're going to have to.
McPherson wriggling through, looking for a penalty corner. It's came up off her foot, and there is the penalty corner. Well, we've seen how lethal their very first penalty corner was at the end of the first half, and they've got another chance.
Yeah, again, you're asking a question, and I think Ross McPherson does really well attacking the baseline, showing his experience. Just waits for the right opportunity for a player to pop in front of his opponent, and they get an outcome which is, for Kelburne, hopefully going to be positive for them.
So being to inject Nickel around there in the centre on a good chat.
The previous goal scorer Carmichael's not in the pitch, so that option might not be there for them. And as we know from hockey, that if you're a sub during the shot corner, you're not able to come on the pitch. So he's He's on the sideline and he'll stay there until this corner's over.
That's Nicol. Oh!
So there's two reasons why that never quite worked. The first is that I think they may have deliberately put the ball to Nicol to do that. If he wants to do that and shoot anywhere, he has to come outside those 5 metre dotted circle to allow him to shoot high. Second, because he didn't, the ball was above the backboard, so that means he's not able to count that as a goal.
Yeah, I think our PA was a bit quick with that, but yeah, just a bit too high. Those ones are getting rarer and rarer in penalty corners now.
It's actually quite, for most levels of hockey, it's quite rare to see people strike the ball. So we've seen that twice for Kelburne here. Nicol on the backhand, on the reverse stick, and then we had Carmichael who scored on his forehand. But most people, because of the kind of dominance of drag flicking, that tends to be the preferred option for most people, most teams.
Back on the pitch, Hamish Walker has been for that minute or so, but he is the latest in a series of players for both sides to have green cards. Member, not mentioned yet. They're not quite the full aficionado watching on. Now we've got a running shootout if it stays level at the end of the 70 minutes. We can't get a winner before then.
Running penalties are always exciting. It's a wee added dimension to the game, but I just wonder if any of these two teams have practiced it in training leading up to the main event.
The Carfer across on the touch there, not quite the touch wanted. Caldwell trying to keep this in though. Here he is. Plenty back though for Grange, however. Caldwell looking for a back potentially. Oh, it's went through and anyway. The need. Caldwell, Waller clears there. And there is the moment for Kelburne there back in front.
Deserved that. I mean, the effort alone for Chris Caldwell to stop the ball and retain it and keep the attack going. I thought initially he would be disappointed that he missed the first trap. The goalkeeper's just been sold a wee bit there. He saved the initial one and the attacker's just thrown his stick at it and went under as he's went to make that second save. Yeah, he's came for the kick. The attacker's just picked his pocket there and went right under him.
Doherty slides and it stays in here for Swanton. Has the free hit. Grange looking for another goal here. Rintoul came off his foot. He's not happy.
Just noticed a lot of frustration in the last 10 minutes from Grange. You know, they are definitely feeling like their game plan's not quite going to the way they wanted it to. You can see it in their body language. They just need to tune in and apply themselves for the next 10 minutes to salvage the rest of this game.
There's the hashtag if you want to get involved in the conversation today and tomorrow. Hashtag Scottish Cup. Funnily enough, because it is the Scottish Cup final weekend and 10 finals over both pitches, 8 on this main pitch, and before today concentrated on the men's, 6 prizes on offer, and then tomorrow there is the 4 games in the women's competition. The competitions, I guess you would say. There's 4 different trophies up for grabs.
Back in the day, the Scottish Cup used to buy you a European ticket. There used to be a space up for grabs for the winning Scottish Cup teams. Certainly for the main Scottish Cup, if you were the winner, you'd get a chance to go to Europe and represent Scotland. Not anymore though. That's part of the European playoffs, and the Scottish Cup is all about bragging rights.
We've debated plenty about things. I think that could be another debate perhaps for later on. Your views on Europe for Cup winners?
Yeah, we'll keep that one in the bag.
Rintoul trying to get there, Swanton on the edge. Play on though. Riddle turns, advantage, Riddle again, and it's scrammed through, and there is the equaliser. Just less than 10 minutes left on the clock. It's a very quick reply to Kelburne, who went back in front.
I think a lot of the applause actually has to go to Duncan Ruzak as the umpire here. So first there's a foot, plays the advantage, allows Alex Riddle to get a second bite of the cherry, and of course he scores from it. So well done to the umpire, that's fantastic. Grange will be really happy as well to get a chance to be level and another shot to take the cup home. So yeah, really positive, he'll be pleased with that. Bad luck to Logan McClure, a wee touch in front of him there just makes it a wee bit difficult to save the ball.
Bit of life again in this game. Second half has went on, and now back in level terms once more. Might become even more open. More looking for MacArthur. Was that an illegal little shove there? Play on. Lothian.
Wouldn't he be surprised if that was a shot corner in another game? You know, that was just on the line in terms of the amount of body contact that you could use to try and disrupt or win the ball. But we got away with it, and Grange have got the ball again.
Space in the middle. Middle here for Walker through. Swanton. Kelburne trying to get it away.
Kelburne making a few subs here, just try to get a few fresh legs and maybe predominant players back in the lineup for the closing minutes of this match.
Space and lofted Collister to the other side. Grubbs dispossessed. I think he thought he had more time. It is back and taken by Lothian. And they're looking around for the ball's run tool. Ahead of him was Gary Brawley.
Getting a wee bit more frantic now. You can, you know, a lot of intense stuff, a lot of energy now in the game, and I think it's going to be the team who can just compose himself a wee bit, make use of the ball and make some connections that are going to get maybe that final chance which could win it.
Lots of space. Pass for Walker. Bounces through for Templeton. Neither here nor there in the end.
I think he's just panicked a wee bit. Could have kept running, get a bit closer to D, try and draw in defenders, or at least release his teammate's marker, free him up in the D.
Ferguson getting plenty of time to rove. Just behind Duff, the clearance. Stanistreet. Freedom of the pitch up until he met Hutchison.
Oh, good take.
Not quite looking wide he was for O'Brien. Going to be another card here coming. Yellow card as well for Riddle, and that could be costly here for Grange, because that's almost the rest of the game that they're going to be down to 10.
So that's a good take from Michael Nicholl initially to stop that ball going through to the free player on the right, but if I'm Alex Riddle, I think it's a wee bit harsh, you know. Michael Nicholl never really any super options, and it's right in the middle of the pitch, so it's not as if he was denying a breakaway.
Kelburne though literally almost got the rest of the game. That player advantage. What could be done differently that they could go and get the winner?
Well, if you look here, they're keen to press. They did this a second ago. They were really happy. The only way that Grange were able to beat them was by scooping the ball. So they've got some joy here.
Caldwell and Bremner doing well. Caldwell just behind Bremner, and there's a player down here. It looks like Lucas Grubb, I think, down.
So it's a head injury. We got to stop straight away. I just hope there's no real damage done, and seems to be. Let's see. Oh dear, yep, that's a stick on the back of the head. So I think Andy Bremner's just tried to get ahead of him and lifted the stick up and over, but he's caught his head on the way through, which I'm not 100%, but I think you're not allowed to do that, as in lift the stick. So I'm sure he'll be feeling that one. Certainly looks okay though. He's sitting up. I don't see any sort of blood or anything, so I think he just gets a wee check. You know the way things are with concussion these days, you just have to look at for the welfare of the player and make sure he's all right.
Yep, it's a very big talking point in sport, all sports really at the moment. So just taking a moment there and have a little look here at the chance that came and the goal that came. Kelburne that was, that went back in front. Didn't last too long, but this was their moment, which they had to lead for 2 or 3 minutes before they were brought back in level terms.
Yeah, so this was for them to go 2-1 up, and as we see Alex coming in, getting his second shot there. And that, do you know, that yellow card to Alex will be a big loss, because he has been a driving force. He scored the equaliser, and not only is that a man down, but it's probably your most creative player on the pitch, other than sorry, lost the name. Oh, sorry, Stanistreet, lost it there. Other than Stanistreet, Alex Riddle's really been one of the guys who's driving Grange forward and creating. But you asked me a minute ago, what do Kelburne have to do? It's probably...
Well, it's a ball, it's trying to get drilled there, Duff, but that's going to go against him.
So you see here, Kelburne are pressing really high, as they should be with an extra man. This is what they have to do. They have to put pressure on so that they don't allow Grange to scoop the ball, which is really their only weapon. But they have to press.
Grip instantly just get some treatment at the moment. He's walked off okay.
And Grange, being a man down, they do. 10 minutes ago they looked tired. They'd put a lot of energy in. They have to try and make it count when they've got the ball in.
Good ball there, O'Brien here for Swanton. Grange in possession. Go back with O'Brien. Driven across there, and well, a couple were waiting but not quite.
It's another one of these balls across the 45-degree angle across the goal. If you can make a connection and touch that ball, you've got a good chance of scoring.
Tom only found Bain. Duff. McPherson looked up. Duff, McPherson. Bremner. Faint complaint in there. Grange clear. Just under 3 minutes left. Connor Bain.
Good intervention there from Connor Bain. He gave the ball away initially, but he's done well to try and disrupt Grange attacking.
Bounced up there off Folds, and it is left. It will still be with Kelburne. Probably about 90 seconds left of the yellow card. Watch it be. Riddle will come back home with about 30 seconds left. Space here for Kelburne and Hutchison. Collister and ends with a side. Got ourselves back in level terms after, well, twice they've done it. A little bit of contact there. Nicol penalised on Swanton.
When Kelburne put on so much pressure, that's the only real weapon Grange have got, being a man down. But they're getting some good joy from that aerial ball, particularly when they've went cross court. They've managed to find good spaces.
Tom, it's something to fire through, but that stick was lashed dangerously.
Yeah, it was wild in the end, but you know, it's probably worth having a go at this stage in the game.
Final minute then, will we win? Final chance, or will we have penalties? Nicol down the channel here for Hutchison. Hutchison driving, and not quite there for Bain.
Good intervention. Just thwarted Kelburne's attack, but they get to go again. This will be.
Riddle back on here, so limiting it to 11, but might not matter as Kelburne get the strike. It's saved by the keeper. Back across, Spremner there. Oh, it's well saved. I think there's that Bain in there. Hutchison's allowed to. Still going here, Caldwell. Driven across, and no, it's not being trapped by Bain, and that might well be the final chance because the clock is going to tick down. There's the hooter. We're going to have penalties to decide the winner of this final, this District Cup final. These two looking to, well, Kelburne looking to keep forward, but Grange looking to win it back. A seesaw game. Kelburne twice taking the lead, Grange twice pulling things back. Lots of green cards, a yellow card, a little bit stormy at times. It's had a bit of everything, this one.
It's definitely came to life in the second half, and Kelburne will be really pleased with the pressure they put on at the end, but they'll equally be disappointed that they couldn't make one of those chances count. So now we go to penalties and see if we can get some specialists up to try and break the deadlock and make the difference.
So just a few minutes to get the tactics out for the penalties. For our unaficionados for the game, the running shootout, can you give us a brief synopsis?
Here we go. Hope I don't get this wrong. So each team takes it in turn to have a running penalty. So the ball starts on the 23-metre line, and they basically play a 1v1 against the goalkeeper. They have 8 seconds in that live situation to try and score or come to a conclusion for either a goal or the keeper to save it. There can be penalty strokes within that as well, so if you see the goalkeeper make a foul on the player, then a penalty stroke, a traditional penalty, can be awarded. So yeah, they get 5 each, and then like a typical penalty shootout, you know, the team who does best after 5 each, they'll be the victors.
It is really exciting. We didn't see any in the grand finals in April, but that's never wins from the promotion relegation games. But to win something, some people say sometimes that's a little bit unfortunate, but you have to decide games somehow. And I think in hockey terms, in the recent years, since the change from just strokes to the running format, I think it's been talked about before. It gives more of a chance for attackers in some respect, because I think with the strokes, goalkeepers, they fill the goal pretty well, and it's quite difficult to score. So it does make it more exciting.
Yeah, there's a specialism in here, and I think the players initially took the advantage, the attackers, because it's probably more like a game situation. They can take on a goalkeeper, they can take on a player and try and eliminate. However, I would say that goalkeepers are getting really well trained, drilled in this type of situation. You see guys like Vincent Van Asch, the Belgium goalkeeper, Cortez, Spanish goalkeeper, you know, they are specialists in this. They are invaluable, and just looking at the two goalies, I think Logan McClure might fit the bill here, that he's a wee bit more mobile. I think you'll see a kind of more aggressive, a style that's going to encourage him to come out and put a lot of pressure on the ball carrier. So it'd be really interesting to see who copes best with the situation.
So it is Grange to go first then. He won the toss, and it is going to be Cal Mulvane, their captain. First penalty up here. 8 seconds, and the keeper has managed to kick it away just before the line.
He's done well there, that's what I was saying. You know, he's came out aggressively, he's tried to deal with the situation, and he's stayed up and stayed on his feet. These are the key things in this situation, and he's made the save, he's got up and he's dealt with the second one. So if there ever was a textbook way of doing it, you know, that's probably it. He's done well.
So it's Chris Caldwell for Kelburne. Through the legs, advantage to the side in yellow.
I'm going to say it was maybe a wee bit fortunate. That's a bit controversial, but if you look at the replay, it's went right through the goalie's legs. You know, as he's shuffling, he's just owned, and the timing's not been quite there. But you know, Chris has hit the target. He's scored a goal. That's all that matters.
Alex Riddle next. Put it wide. Very quick to take his effort, but snapped at it.
I'm surprised. I thought Alex might actually try and craft a wee bit more, if that makes sense. He might want to take Logan on a wee bit more. He's certainly got that ability in his locker, and he's just rushed the shot.
Cal McCaffrey next, just to get some daylight. Ross McPherson should say. Goes round, off the post. Stays at 1.
Wasn't an easy one. You know, he's took it quite wide. He's done well to get the shot back across, but just not enough.
The player you picked out alongside Riddle, George Stanley Street Lively for Grange. Next up here, looking to get on level terms. Keeper's made another save.
He's done well. I think Logan's shown his quality here. Handling, you know, the skillful players of Grange quite easily.
Fraser Hutchison to make it 2-0. Went wide, and the keeper's got there and keeps himself in it. Murray Cloughy.
Can see that both these goalkeepers are actually quite dynamic in their approach to dealing with the player running at them, and it's causing a lot of issues. You know, we've probably missed more here than we've scored. They're making life very difficult.
Maybe cursed by saying the attackers have it good now. Marcus O'Brien fires it in, 1-1.
Best one yet, I think. It's a super finish. Does it at speed, makes it really hard for Logan to keep up, particularly in the change of direction. And then he absolutely nails the reverse stick shot here. No doubt about it. That's a quality finish.
Ewan Carmichael to restore the lead. Keeper does really well, though. Does really well. Cloughy. And 1-1, 4 penalties apiece.
Yeah, he changes direction really well. I think Carmichael was just hoping that quick change of direction would catch him out, but he coped excellently.
Harry Templeton, it would be a big time to take the lead in the shootout. For the first time in the game, can they actually have a lead? Templeton does it! And they have flipped it round. It is advantage here to Grange with 1 to take. Kelburne need to score.
Almost a carbon copy of the previous Grange penalty. You know, he's went on that left hand side and made it very hard for Logan to get near it, and as he's shuffling across trying to close the angle, it's just really hard to stop.
Fraser Scott must score here for Kelburne. It's a penalty stroke, foul against the goalie.
So this is a situation we were talking about before, that if you foul the player you can go to a traditional penalty. What's interesting though is that he's going to take this. You can elect another player for the team to come forward and do it.
Still needs to score here, this time from the spot. He does score. Sudden death.
That's a good penalty. He actually took it really quick. You know, he didn't wait around. As soon as that whistle goes, he's straight on it.
So back with Chris Caldwell.
I wonder if he'll change, will he stick to the same tactic as last time?
Oh, and it's an unfortunate little stumble. Gets back to his feet. And that's the end. He's claiming that he was fouled, but umpire says no.
I think he's done terrific to recover for the first foul, but I don't think he's really got the ball under control.
So now in sudden death rolls reversal. It's now on the turn here of Mark O'Brien to win it. As O'Brien scored his first one earlier, but puts it wide this time.
You can see that when the players go to the right side of the D, they're having real trouble getting the ball back across. I thought he was maybe going to attack that left side again, where they've had so much joy before.
So penalty round 7, Hutchison. Keeper's got a touch. Still time. Behind it goes.
Just gets himself a bit too close to the goal there as he changes direction.
It's Templeton. Weaves it. Templeton, he's put it over.
Oh, shame he did the hard work. You know, he'd sold the goalie. Logan was committed on his left-hand side, and again that reverse stick shot as he scored before, you'd back him to score it with an empty net.
Penalty number 8 now. McPherson missed the first time round. He's going to go quick and fast, and he's put it wide.
You know, he's not missed by much there, Ross, but again, he's the type of guy where he could probably take the goalie on there. The margins for that type of approach are so fine.
No, George Stanistreet then. Just need a goal, someone to score to win it. Stanistreet with Grange, but got too close to the goalkeeper. McClure just said thank you very much.
Aye, that's brilliant by Logan. You know, on his toes, anticipating the movement. As soon as a striker loses a tiny bit of that control, he's getting rid of the ball. That's really good goalkeeping.
Fraser Scott, he's got round, he scored. They've got a goal at last, it's been a while, but now advantage Kelburne, and there is no choice for Grange, they have to score.
Pressure's on Grange. That's a brilliant finish. You see almost like the dummy looks like he's going to go right. Keeper gets flat-footed. Easy finish.
Back with Callum Lothian, missed in round 1 of the penalties, has to score here. Oh, keeper's got a stick in there! Oh, goodness me! How jammy is that? How great was that? Persistence paid off.
Oh, he was fighting tooth and nail for that one. He knew what it meant. He had to score it. And if you look at the replay, he almost won a penalty, but he persevered and got it in the net. And the umpire was coming for a second to signal. Yep, straight into the goal. There you go. And we carry on.
Penalty 10. Ewan Carmichael. He's going quick, fast. Side.
Really struggling. All the players actually are really struggling with this right side of the D. When he hit it, they just can't get the ball back across the goal.
Alex Riddle, who been a key player for Grange, spent most of the last 5 minutes on the sidelines with a yellow card. Can he win this? Second try! Yes, he's done it! Grange 2s have their trophy back. They like the odd numbered years. These two have been sharing this trophy, but Kelburne can't keep hold, and eventually in the end it's been decided in the shootout and Grange are the victors.
Yeah, somebody's got to win, but I always feel sorry for the guys who lose in that fashion. But you know, credit to Grange, they stuck in there, they went behind, they came back, they took the opportunities, and you know, they scored the final penalty to win. So credit to them. But it's been a good game. You know, the first half was quite slow going, but it really came to life in the second.
So handshakes, the presentation will fall. And there's confirmation, the shootout scoreline, and a lot of missed penalties and keepers doing well. So let's have a little look at this again. Moment for victory.
Yeah, Logan does actually really well to block the first attempt, and it just pops back, and Alex reacts the fastest. You know, he just finds a gap on his reverse stick side, pops it. I think maybe Logan, but it looks it over, commits a wee bit, and it goes more so down the centre.
So, presentation of the side to come, and then we do have as well, remember, on this pitch, 2 o'clock, the plate final, the National Plate final, Highland of National League 3 against Dunfermline Carnegie of National League 2. And then the Scottish Cup final at 4 o'clock between Grange and Grove Mingus Hill. So that's 2 trophies in the cabinet today for Grange, and looking for a third perhaps later on. Overall thoughts?
It was a nice match. You know, I think both teams can be really proud of the performances they've put in. You can see they've put in a lot of effort, and you know, on the day Grange have just done enough to win. 2 so far for Grange. We'll see if they can get the clean sweep later, but you know, credit also to Kelburne. They've competed, and like I say, it's never nice to lose a final in that manner, but unfortunately somebody has to win and somebody has to lose.
I think because, take a minute or two to get the presentation in order. We'll have a quick look at the goals, why not, in the 70 minutes of time, and we will start all the way back. Feels an age now when Kelburne scored early.
Yeah, we spoke about this. The Kelburne were under the pump quite a lot, and the corner gave them a wee bit of respite, and they managed to get into the half time with 1-0. So it came at a really good moment.
I'm not going away.
So that was the equaliser. Both equalisers coming fairly swiftly after going behind.
Yeah, and this is a really nice penalty. You know, that is a top quality penalty. Really difficult.
This was when Kelburne went back in front. You see, he kind of sold the keeper a little bit.
He did. If you look at the replay again, he actually has his first shot, and somehow, you know, he's behind the defender, but he just manages to pop in front of him again, even though the defenders go side and get the shot away, so picks the pocket. And
then the moment there for Riddle to level things up, and well, what a double moment he's had with the shootout as well. Had the yellow card, but got the equaliser, scoring through.
Oh, he's been a focal point, whether it's for being in the sin bin or scoring the goals that matter, but again, credit to the umpire. You know, he's really done well to keep the advantage, and again, I feel sorry for Logan in the goal that Connor takes a small touch before Logan's able to make the save, but sometimes that's what happens when the ball's moving around in a short space.
Yeah, Kelburne getting their runners up medals. Who would you be your kind of player, key player, or player that's performed the best? The keeper's played pretty well for Kelburne.
Aye, for Kelburne certainly, I would say Logan's had a lot of important saves. He's done really well. think he's definitely the standout for Kelburne's point of view.
So here come Grange now. We talked about Riddle, we talked about Stan Street as well. I think Jimmy Rintoul, particularly in the first half, was lively and perhaps never got one or two clear-cut chances that we've seen in the past with him in this side. I think we can cover the key players that play pretty well for the side, particularly going forward.
Absolutely, yeah. In terms of an attacking point of view, you know, Alex Riddle, Stanistreet, these guys were really happy to take the ball and drive the attack. But what I would also say is that I think Grange have showed quite a lot of character in that, you know, they went behind 10 minutes to go or 7 minutes to go, they get themselves back into the game. They go a man down with 5 minutes to go, they weather that storm, and then they come out successful in the shootout. So that's a team effort, you know. There's guys in there who have definitely been involved in the key moments, but you know, they've shown that they're a strong team, and they did enough when it came to the penalty shootout.
There is the trophy, there is Callum Lothian, the captain. Obligatory picture. And obligatory trophy lift as well for the captain of Grange. They have this trophy back. Grange are the District Cup winners for 2019. We'll be back, it'll be a quick turnaround. We'll be back shortly for the Scottish Plate finals in Highland and Dunfermline Carnegie. Should be hopefully an exciting one. Thanks for the moment, Stephen. We'll hear from you later on, and we'll leave things for the moment with pictures of Grange 2s as your District Cup winners.